Precisely, what does a man do when he has too much money on his hands? He invests it, right? The financial investments of a man can either take a turn for the good or for the bad. The bad here is branched into deeper categories such as money laundering and terrorist financing, and the difference between money laundering and terrorist financing is in fact what we are going to be seeing in this video today. But before I dive into it, if you are finding valuable my videos, make sure you subscribe to Crime Agent and press the thumb up on this video. This will make it super easy for you to consume new videos that are going live on my channel, and it will allow me to create more contents for you. Now, with the housekeeping done, let's jump right into today's video. Hi and welcome to Crime Agent, my YouTube channel where every week I publish a new video to boost your awareness about AML and financial crime prevention. As mentioned earlier in the video, I shall be looking into the difference between money laundering and terrorist financing, with the two having only a few distinguishable differences between them. What are they? Money laundering is the procedure of disguising funds and finances received from criminal activities and integrating this money into the legitimate financial system. Before the money from crime is laundered, it cannot be used by criminals since they have no explanation where the money came from, and it is easy to trace that money back to the crime they committed. The process of laundering means pumping money into legitimate businesses and investments to avoid being caught. Once money has been laundered, it is difficult to distinguish it from legitimate financial resources where criminals can use the funds without detection from the concerned agencies. On the other hand, terrorist financing deals with financing terrorist acts and acts that promote terrorism. It is irrelevant as to where the money came from for terrorist financing. So, as long as the money is utilized for terrorist activities, it is called terrorism financing. Another essential thing to note here is that terrorism financing doesn't necessarily mean that funding will end up taking lives of people. Terrorism financing is also carried out to induce fear into people ultimately. So, to further remark the difference between money laundering and terrorist financing, you can consider funds linked to money laundering when the funds involved are the proceeds of any criminal conduct. In terrorist financing, the source of funds is instead irrelevant, therefore the funds used in terrorist financing can be either a legitimate source or illegitimate source. There are countless ways by which money laundering can be laundered. Generally, money laundering is broken down into three main stages: placement, layering, and integration. The first step of placement involves the initial entry of illicit money going into the financial system. Placement is followed by the layering process, where the funds are separated from their sources using often anonymous shell companies, for example. The third and final step of money laundering is integration, where money is returned as a profit from a legitimate looking source. Whereas money laundering is carried out in complete anonymity, terrorism financing is different in the sense that at least one or more partners are given prior knowledge that the money will be used for terrorist activities. This is because eventually financing will come to a halt if the investors are kept in the dark about where the money is going. Hence, the people involved in pumping money into terrorism financing have usually quite a clear idea about the outcome of those actions. If information related to such criminal acts gets into the hands of people outside their circle, then it could be very costly for all the parties involved. In short, information is power, particularly for criminals involved in those type of activities. I still need to discuss a few more points in my video, but I would love to hear your opinion on what you've seen so far. Let me know your view using the comment section below so we can continue the discussion about this topic. The process of money laundering almost always requires to pass the money through one or more banks. The primary strategy against it is to require banks to perform background checks and monitor transactions effectively to make sure the accounts aren't being used for money laundering. Financial institutions play a vital role in helping combat the finance of terrorism because terrorists often rely on them to transfer money or use bank services to pay for accomplishing their criminal acts. Laws are set in place to inform authorities by banks of any suspicious transaction that can help prevent terrorism. For example, the screening of subjects and transactions against the official sanctions list is a mandatory requirement that financial institutions must follow in order to mitigate the risks of terrorist financing. With this, I've come to the end of my video, and by now I hope that you can define more clearly the difference between money laundering and terrorist financing. If this video was useful to you, you can show your appreciation and support my channel by subscribing to Fincrime Agent and press the thumb up on this video. Also remember to check the video's description to find useful links including how to become part of my community on patreon.com. And lastly, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed my video, and until next time, see you soon.